There are some locks that stand out amongst the rest, and there are some locks that stand head and shoulder, or shackle and Bible above the rest. This lock is considered a rite of passage for those progressing up the belt system to obtain the green belt, and I use it to get my green belt. Now, this is also a lock that is considered to have one of the most secure components that my lock makes. The lock also saves countless lives from workplace accidents, yet it's in a thermoplastic housing that can be pretty easily destroyed by a hammer or pried apart with a screwdriver. How could such a lock be so secure and so trusted, but have a thin plastic housing? What kind of security can that offer? The Lock 410 is in a class of locks called lockout-tagout. Lockout-tagout, or Loto locks, are primarily used in electrical, plumbing, or mechanical repair in order to lock out a circuit breaker, a valve, or other control. It can prevent death or extreme injury should that control be turned on while it's being actively maintained. A Loto lock is usually accompanied by a tag, hence the lockout and tagout. Tags provide additional information that accompanies the lockout step. Tags identify the person who applied the lock, date and time, location, and any other hazard warning information, but are optional. A Loto lock typically only ships with one key as well, like the Lock 410 does, to prevent unauthorized removal of the lock, and ensures that the lock can only be removed, non-destructively, by the person who put the lock there in the first place. The Lock 410 is also key retaining. This ensures that the padlock is not left unlocked. According to Master Lock, it is in compliance with the one employee, one lock, one key directive. I couldn't find out who made that directive, if it was Master Lock or not, but it is considered a mantra that is followed by many organizations. Each lock will also come with stickers to identify who the lock belongs to, or to what job the lock is associated with, and warning messages like danger, locked out, and do not removed, and are provided in several languages common to the geographic area where the lock is sold. The locks are made to meet OSHA standard, the control of hazardous energy, and according to this standard, Loto is a process of controlling hazardous energy during the service and maintenance of machinery and equipment. There are several guidelines recommended for lock manufacturers to follow in the design of locks and to be considered OSHA compliant. One thing that OSHA guidelines don't seem to mention is the material the lock body is made of. It appears that plastic is not a requirement, but is used as a case material not just by Master Lock in the 410, but also Brady with their Loto and their Ava 7140 core, featured on this channel before. I'll leave a link to that video below. The reason that the lock is in plastic is that it's non-conductive and non-sparking. The plastic itself is pretty durable and will not come apart on you in your toolbox, and carrying it around won't be bothersome because it's so light. For Locksport, we don't typically care about the history of the lock, we care about what's inside, how it is to pick it. What makes the Master Lock 410 such a great lock, especially when progressing up the LPU belt system, is that it's a higher security lock than what belt climbers would have encountered in their belt climb. It contains 6 pins, 5 of which are spools and 1 slightly serrated. With this, it can offer quite a bit of a challenge that is often welcomed by a climbing locksporter. It cannot easily be opened with a simple raking or zipping techniques, and it cannot be shimmed as it has 2 ball bearings locking in the shackle. What I love most about the lock is the sound it makes when you pick it. The plastic body doesn't muffle out the subtle clicks of a serrated pin or the clunk of a spool being set. It lets those awesome sounds out and even amplifies it when it's in a vise. You can also feel it better when you're hand picking. When I pick a 410, I feel like I have superpowers I can see inside the lock. I can feel and hear exactly what's going on inside. Now, I mentioned earlier that the 410 is a natural fit for progressing into the LPU green belt, which includes the 410 in its current list of accepted locks for this level. The requirements for green belt are as follow. You must video picking and gutting accomplishments in one continuous take. Now, the Master Lock 410 is not guttable without destroying the thermoplastic case, but it does go on to state, for non-guttable locks, i.e. Master 410 Loto, video documentation of gutting and reassembling a different lock will be accepted. You can get another lock, and for my green belt submission, I gutted the Sparrow's cutaway plastic lock. I have an edited version of my green belt submission that I'll include below as well. Now, there's one little caveat, or perhaps to some a bonus. That is, under normal operation, the lock works perfectly with a key. There are little restrictions built into the plastic housing to restrict how far the key can be turned. However, when picking it with a tension bar and a pick, it is very possible to bypass those restrictions and overturn the core, which results in all the key pins falling out of the plug and into the plastic housing, effectively destroying the lock mechanism and the usability of the lock itself. But for some, it will allow them to join a very special club called the Rattler Club. The Rattler Club is often joined unwittingly by those not knowing why there is a limitation built in for key operation and overturn the core a little too much, joining the club accidentally. Some will join this club on purpose. Me, I love this lock and it's currently the only Master Lock 410 I own, so I haven't rattled it yet. I might someday, but not right now. If you do happen to rattle your lock, you can always open the lock with a thin saw or break it open. Be careful of those loose pins inside so you don't lose them though. And 3D print a new housing for the Bible, bearings, and shackle, and relive those glory days of picking the Master Lock 410 Loto again. And to be able to easily disassemble it and change out the pinning to make it harder for you to pick. But for now, even with these options, I will keep this one the way it is. This is my confidence booster, my morale jumper, my fun lock. We all have our favorites, and this is mine. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe.